lost mine. I define myself as ambitious, young, black, and gifted. Master P, my masterpiece. That mean I don't got no limits. Bout it, I doubt it. My homies know you ain't ratted. We break you down like a pound. I got it, don't panic surround me. I'm corrupted, flow cold and it's rugged, bumpy. What is up? I'm ready for war. You got to love it like black, yeah. And it feel like, yeah. All day like, yeah. All night like, yeah. Whole squad like, what? And it feel like, yeah. All day like, yeah. All night like, what? Whole squad like, yeah. And it feel like, yeah. All day like, yeah. All night like, yeah. Whole squad like, yeah. And it feel like, yeah. All day like, yeah. All night like, yeah. You don't want problems. You don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems. You don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems. You don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. No, I said you don't want problems. You don't want smoke, dog. You don't want. Like that. It's a lot of money. Why are you mad like that? Ooh, I'm in my new bag, my bad. You ain't get too bad, my bad. Yeah. First of the month, I'ma run it back. Ay. Same day, why I'ma run it back. Friday, payday, run it back. Ay. Run it back, run it back, run it back. 48 yards, I run it back. Ay. I cop a car, I run it back. Go yo, then run it back. Run it back, run it back, run it back. Hello? That's the jag calling. Let me click over real quick to let my jag talk it. I eat it, ooh, Pac-Man. That's the way my neck talking. Right? I ain't never coming back. The way the stress. You don't make no clap back when you backpack, my bad. But I'm past that with a NASDAQ. That's cash. When the money fall, I'ma slap that. Clap when the money go. You don't slap. That's facts. If the money low, I'ma grab brown man. When it come back, I'ma give back my bad. When the check hit, the direct hit. I'm glad when the check missed the direct hit. I'm sad like, who's that knocking at my window? My window. They say that it's the money. I'm like tenfold. Over and out. That's gon' make you up like a limbo. She said she not a. She an. Why you do that like that? It's a lot of money. Why are you mad like that? Ooh, I'm in my new bag, my bad. You ain't get too bad, my bad. Yeah. First of the month, I'ma run it back. Ay. Same day, why I'ma run it back. Friday, payday, run it back. Ay. Run it back, run it back, run it back. 48 yards, I run it back. Ay. I cop a car, I run it back. Go yo, then run it back. Run it back, run it back, run it back.
Y'all already know what time it is, huh? Playing skills, you did, huh? Playing skills. Ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, hole in the wrist, watch out flip, watch out whip, I'm in the whip, hole in the wrist.
Snow and Lambeau, Coach, something about that combo that just works, like peanut butter and jelly. And we've got half a foot of the white stuff and still coming down here in Green Bay. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Philadelphia Eagles.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
And the Green Bay Packers. Now a handoff here to his running back. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Philadelphia picking up the first on a gain of 15. Wentz now on first down. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. And he'll give it here to his running back. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up.
And it brings up 3rd down.
No, Pac-Man. No.
Ito Smith, his first carry. Give him 9 on the carry, but it's not enough, and it'll be 4th down.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
The Eagles send out their punter now. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt. And this one's out of bounds. Should be inside the 10, I think it is. At the 6-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
3 bud.
2nd and 4. It's brought in by Jamison Crowder. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
2nd and 9 now. Bryant has it. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 13 yards, first down, Packers.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, it was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Here's a 2nd and 7. It's caught by Bryant. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that. Yeah, moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on their heels a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, to have that dagger play, to have that play and just finish them off right now, because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early.
50 yards.
They'll run on first down. Green. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
At the Eagles' 43-yard line.
Ready?
Mike's 50. Push him back. Push him back.
2nd and 11. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now?
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
This will probably be the last play of the quarter. And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And now they're looking for 19 yards here on 3rd down following 2 negative plays.
Ready?
Back to throw here. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 32. And he will be brought down, but he's got the interception on the final play of this first quarter. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Eagles in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's got a 1st down and then some at midfield. Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A great play there. Touchdown number 18 on the year as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. You always worry about the plant foot in the snow, but no problems there. And it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line.
Well, that was their 3rd sack of the ball game. 2nd in the league in sacks coming into this one. They're planning on making it a race to the top, aren't they?
Absolutely. They're looking up at that top spot, but they might be looking down at the 2nd spot pretty soon. The punt team on now is from their end zone. They get it away. And that's a 48-yard punt with the coverage holding him to 3 on the return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. A big pickup there for the Eagles' first down, 18 yards. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the 2nd level, because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the 2nd level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make second down pretty tough.
Gotta do better. Come on, QB, come on. Where's 52? What, 52? 52.
On 2nd and 15 now. Wentz. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. And Elliott puts this one through. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. The Packers on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1.
Double dog, that's the way.
And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here sometimes. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer 1st down. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage, so they're going to throw the football more.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Charles, not to point fingers, but how much of this goes on the shoulders of the offensive line? Well, look at the 6 sacks last week. That's the 4th in this game.
Definitely the bulk of it does go on the offensive line. That's what they're tasked with doing, keeping their quarterback upright and clean in the pocket. But I think they have to look at, okay, are we bringing in extra people? Is the ball out of the quarterback's hands quick enough? There are a few other factors that they have to look at to try and help out, but you're exactly right. It starts with the O-line.
The throw down the field, caught by his running back. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime.
On the ready.
54, right there. 54, Mike. Rabbit.
Defense.
Looking to throw. He finds his target. It's Crowder. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. 14 yards, good for a Packer 1st down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. Looking for Green, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 16. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. What a season he continues to have defensively. Now a dozen interceptions this year, Charles.
And let's face it, we've watched a lot of ball. But when you get 12 in 1 year, that's better than most careers, isn't it?
Absolutely, and you might be asking for a bump in pay, too.
No doubt about it. Running right in there and talking to the team.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Not much has changed since we left you at halftime. The snow still continuing to fall as we are back underway. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go. Let's go.
At their own 19-yard line.
On the set.
About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because...
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 33. And he'll score. Touchdown, Eagles.
Touchdown, Philadelphia.
Elliott now to add the extra point. He's got it, and it's 17-0. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This one fielded at the 5. And he's all the way up across the 40 and down at the 42-yard line. Great return.
We all know the teams never want to use the word panic. But if they expect to win this game, it has to start right here, right now. That return just set them up for points, and it needs to be a touchdown, not a field goal.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And in fact, we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
He can't hang. He's not going to get me.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Then his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off around the 41. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman?
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
with the Eagles?
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at the 45. A 1st down run not going to get them a whole lot. Maybe a yard. Yeah, it looks like just 1 yard there. So that'll bring up 2nd and 9.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory. Yeah, he's able to get most of what he needed on the carry there. 7 yards on the gain, and it's 3rd and 2 now.
Let's go, Heavy. Let's go, Heavy. Heavy, what you got? What you got, Heavy? What you got, Heavy?
Working from the gun, Wentz. And he gets it to Funchess complete. 20. A great pickup there, 35 yards, and obviously the first down to go along with it.
On third down, it's very simple. Make sure you get beyond the sticks, make the catch, pick up the first down. But in this case, he turned it into bonus time and was off to the races for a monster play.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And they give this time to the tailback. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
He's tired of me. He's tired of us. My 52. All day, baby. All day.
On 2nd and 7, Wentz. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. From 10 yards out. And the Eagles able to push. Elliott on for the extra point. And the lead is now 24. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up.
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at that time, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
On 1st down, Green. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. And that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
Let's go. HG Gator.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jannard Avery in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. Your 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a first-and-goal situation. To throw, it's Wentz. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. A great effort there. With his 19th touchdown, his second of the game, as his guys continue to pour it on. Elliott good with a PAT, and that will extend this big lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. 2nd and 10. And Diggs has it. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
Back to throw. He's got his man here. It's Green. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. They'll drop to throw. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles 16. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
2nd and 13. On the catch, it's Crowder. That was play number 7 on this drive, and it got him 7 yards.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
It's complete to Diggs. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
Now on 4th down here, that pass knocked away and incomplete. The former Pro Bowl linebacker Anthony Barr there to jar it free. So they finally get their first trip to the red zone, and it ends with nothing.
And that's what I'm going to focus on with you, because you teed it up really well. Finally get to the red zone. So there's got to be a little bit of frustration because they haven't moved the ball as well as they wanted.
Through an opening, and there he goes. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A big play there with touchdown number 20 on the year as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. So another score there, and often you talk about the three phases of the game: defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a fourth phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
11 yards and a Green Bay Packer first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Yeah, let's get sack lunch.
They'll keep it on the ground. Green. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Exit.
They run the counter. It's Green. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. The bottom line is
it's caught inside the 25. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Now back to throw. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down.
Hey, zoom.
Here's 2nd and 8. And his throw is incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense is well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
So they will get on the scoreboard here. Give him credit for that. Too little, too late, but no 0. Oh, you're going slow clap on me.
Not very nice, is it?
No, but they haven't been very nice on offense. It's been a struggle. Bullock good on the extra point as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And what could he possibly be thinking? He just took the fair catch at the 1-yard line. Major mistake. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Now third down is looming. A pickup of 2 on first down and just 1 yard there. So it's a victory here for the Philadelphia Eagles. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together, got a spark, and then took off. It's really nice to watch in the second half. So for the Eagles, the great run they've been on continues as they move to 9-1.